Class.
Word.
What phylum? Porifera, yeah. This is a glass sponge, Venus' flower basket, Hexaphonellida. Longitudinal section through a sponge. So what's this opening on the outside? Ostia into an intern canal, through a prosophile, to a radial canal, or an apophile to the spongiocele. So you need to make sure you have that sequence down.
Go over that again.
Sure. One more time. Ostium on the outside, plural is ostia, goes into an intern canal, goes through a little tiny hole called a prosophile, into the radial canal, through this big hole called an apophile, into the spongiocele, and out the osculum. And where would the choanocytes be located?
It's in the walls.
Yeah, lining the radial canals right in here. What's that? What? Nope. This is a gemule. One of those asexual reproductive structures for a sponge. Cross section of a hydra. So where the arrow is, what's this chamber called? Gastrovascular cavity. Yeah. And then lining the gastrovascular cavity is a layer called gastroderm. It's derived from endoderm, but it's gastroderm. And then the outer layer is just ectoderm or epithelium, either way. And I think the next picture is up close and personal. Gastroderm, ectoderm. What's the little gelatinous layer in between? Mesoglia. You don't get those, sponged gelatinous layers called mesohyl, but in an adaria it's mesoglia. No, I guess you can't really tell the cnidocytes on that. So. What more? Polyp or medusa? Medusa. And what are these areas? Those are gonads. And see how it changes from right here to right here? It looks one way, and then from here it looks a different way. So this is a little thing called a velum that hydrozoa and medusa have, but other kind of medusa don't have. It's a little shelf inside. This would be that gastrovascular cavity, mouth, radial canals, circular canal here, tentacles, obvious. Okay, polyp or medusa? Oh, colonial or solitary? Colonial. Okay, so what is this structure called, the whole thing? What? Nope, that's this thing over here is an engine. This is the feeding one. Hydrant?
You said they're colonial, right?
Colonial, yep. That's a hydrant. This is a gonangium over here with a little medusa bud in it. And this is cenosarc, pink stuff, and this is a parasarc. So on this they call that a hydrotheca and a gonotheca for the parasarc. And I think that's about all it is for that. We've got two types of anemones here. Little colonial ones, big solitary ones. Both have the genus Anthophora. This is Anthophora elegantissima and Anthophora xanthogrammatica. Just a jellyfish. Phylum, Cnidaria class. Scyphozoa, yeah. Just a hydra, not much to know about a hydra, but it's tentacles, mouth, body.
Cnidaria, right?
Cnidaria, yeah. What phylum is this? Which one? Not Cnidaria. See the comb rose? Ctenophora. What type of symmetry do ctenophores have? They're radial with bilateral symmetry. So they're mostly radial with these arms, make them semi-bilateral. So sometimes they call them biradial. What phylum? Yep. Not a roundworm, it's a flatworm. Pladiominthes? Yep. So this, and it's a tapeworm, so what class? Cestoda. And this structure is the front end, I guess the front end. They don't really have much of a front end, but this is the attachment structure called a scolex. And it's got suckers and hooks. This is farther down the body, and you can't see it very well. And it's got another piece right there, but this is ovary, here and here. This is the yolk gland. This is the uterus going down here. All the little distinct spots are the testes. We'll see a better picture of this later on. What class is this? Still Pladiominthes. So we did Cestoda. So we have Trematoda or Turbellaria. Yeah, Turbellaria. So these are the free-living ones. And parts of this guy, what are these little things right here? What up?
They look like eyes.
They look like eyes, but they're eye spots. Yeah. And the little horns on the side of his head. They call them, what do you call ears?
Ears.
Ears? But in Latin, what do you call ears? What's that? What about on the heart? What are the flappy things on the heart? The heart ventricles are called, the other name for the atrium?
Valves?
Atrium's a chamber, then the little bulges on the side called auricles. Those are auricles. Auricles are chemosensory structures. And the eye spots, obviously, don't form an image, but they do tell light from dark. Cross-section of a nematode. This is Nematoda, this is Ascaris. This is female or male?
Female.
Female. Okay, so, why? These are, what are these things?
Ovaries.
Nope.
Uterus.
Uterus. So these are ovaries. These are oviducts. Uteri.
Really?
Uh-huh. Uteri. Intestine. Pseudocoelom. Lateral canal. Here and here.
The pseudocoelom is it's that lining that goes along the edge.
Pseudocoelom is the whole chamber.
Yeah. Okay. And you can see that how the I don't don't know, the circle structures kind of stop because of that pseudosealant. You can see the outer lining, right? I don't know, it makes sense in my head.
I'm not quite sure what you're saying. So the pseudocoelom is a whole chamber inside that's filled with the organs.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is muscle right here. This is the epidermis over here. This would be the endodermis or endoderm here. And so this on the outside is the cuticle, protective layer. This is a dorsal nerve cord. Maybe that's the ventral nerve cord. This is the dorsal nerve cord here. So the intestine's on the ventral side. But it's kind of, this can kind of squished a bit. Already got that memorized? Okay, good enough. That's a little bit big. So what phylum is this?
Ascaris?
Nope. What creature is this? Earthworm. So our terms are segmented roundworms. And what's the name for rings, like growth rings in a tree? Those are called what kind of rings?
Annuals?
Annual rings. So annelida means little rings. This is phylum Annelida. And the parts are, what's this little white thing right up here?
Brain.
That's the brain, and then this line right here,
Esophagus?
that's the nerve cord. This is the pharynx, right here, the bulb. The esophagus then runs down here. Here's the prop of the gizzard. Intestine. Seminal vesicles, big ones, little round ones, seminal receptacles. Heart, there'd be 5 of those. Swarm kind of let out. We just have one visible one. What are these things? Septa, yeah. And then there's a little mushy stuff between the septa you can't really see. It would be floating in here.
Nephridia.
Nephridia. And what's this greenish yellow material on the outside of the intestine? That's chlorogone tissue. That's the digestive gland or the earthworm. What's first, crop or gizzard? Crop's at the anterior end here. Gizzard back there.
And the gizzard's the hard one, right?
Gizzard is thicker walled, yeah. In this worm, it's all pretty soft looking. In your worms, it was all pretty hard. You must have been eating crunchy stuff or something. Cross-section of earthworm. So this is the epithelium out here. Then you got 2 layers of muscles, circular muscle and longitudinal muscle. Then you got the coelom. And you got the intestine. And up there is the dorsal blood vessel. Down here is the ventral nerve cords. This sort of squiggly looking stuff, that's the nephridia, metanephridia in the coelom. And, with the intestine, what's this invagination? A fold.
Gastrovascular cavity.
What?
Gastrovascular cavity.
Nope, because now it's got an intestine, so a mouth and an anus. And these guys have weird intestines. So, there's an earthworm intestine that goes like this, and then to increase the surface area, rather than folding it up, we just fold it like this. So it's got a tube inside of a tube. That's called a typhlosaur. Chlorogone tissue is on the outside of all of it, so that's all this sort of mushy looking stuff here, and then I go down here too. This is the actual wall of the intestine, the dark line. So this is a lumen of the intestine. This is just a fold in the intestine. What happened? What did it feel like when you drug your worm across your hand? Did it feel smooth? Did it feel do it.
Smooth and
Do
soft.
you?
You can still feel it with your glove. You ever try to pull a worm out of a hole in the ground? You never did that? You guys had too much fun in.
Don't they kind of stick?
Yeah, they break if you pull too much, because they're little, what I was trying to get to here is a little CETA come out right here, little chitinous rods, and they use those to move and anchor themselves into the soil. And so when you pull them from the head end towards the tail end, they feel kind of smooth, but you pull them the other way, they feel really rough, prickly. What phylum? Is that? No. It's not stuff we did today. That's a mollusca, that's a chitin, class Polyphycoptera. Now this one, you should know, that's the ventral side, that's the dorsal side. So first of all, see how big that thing is? So this is a chitin again, and this is one of the ones you need the genus on. So, anybody remember that genus of the big chitin that was back in the jar over there? On Monday? That's cryptochitin. Biggest chitin in the world. Jumping all over the place. Phylum,
Arthropoda.
Arthropoda, subphylum,
Insecta.
Oh,
that's the
fine.
class.
Oh, sorry.
Subphylum means 6 legs, hexapoda.
That's
Class, now Insecta, and order. Orthoptera, grasshoppers, crickets, walking sticks. Sometimes they include cockroaches in that. What phylum is this?
Annelida.
Annelida, yeah, which class?
Class is Gladi.
Polychaete? What phylum? Mollusca, in which class? Means stomach foot?
Gastropoda?
What stomach? Gastric, right? So gastropod. Gastropoda. Anthropleura xanthogramma, again.
Nadir.
Parasitic Podiomenthes is in what class? These are liver flukes. These are crematoda. And this guy you're supposed to know all kinds of stuff about. So, oral sucker, uterus, ventral sucker, ovary, yolk gland, all those little brown spots. Branches of the intestine, there's one branch down here, one branch down here. Testes, I think that's about all you need to know on these guys. What's that? Coral, okay, and so, which phylum? Area, which class? Anthozoa, so corals and anemones are anthozoa. What order are cockroaches? Orthoptera, same as a grasshopper. Common name? Starts with an S-C-A-L. Scallop. Okay. Those are just, there's a bunch of different mollusks there, but the ones you need to pay attention to are these guys right here. Brown and black turtle snails, Tegula minerellus and Tegula brunei. What's that? Cuttlefish, yeah, bone, in quotation marks, so the cuttlefish pen, essentially. And cuttlefish are in what phylum? Mollusca, and which class? Means head foot. Cephalopoda, yep. This is a rock. What are these called in English?
So boring, that's the boring one, right?
Boring clams, yeah. And there's a bunch of different genera. The one I had out there is full of it, but you don't really need to know that. I just know it's boring clam. Which class? Mollusca again, so. Looks like a tooth, right? I guess that doesn't help me. Scaphopoda is the official class of these guys. And let me back up, I didn't ask you the class of, what's the class of this guy? Bivalvia or Flissopoda, either way. Common name? How about now? Common name?
Nautilus.
Chamber of Nautilus. Okay, and what class? Cephalopoda again. Genus and species and common name? California mussel. Mytilus californianus. Pismo clam. Common name is? Cone shell. And the genus? Conus. Yep, that's not a hard one. Now, a lot of these crickets, that's not so. What's the order for this guy again? Orthoptera. That's a fly. What's the order for flies? Diptera. This is a taper again where you can see what's going on better. So, ovaries here, yolk gland there, uterus here, all these little things. Those are the testes. These are the nerve cords there and here. This is the genital area, so there's uterus and vagina. Well, I got lots of them. I gotta find some other. Okay, there's a different one finally. What order is this? Leafhoppers, cicadas, hold the wings like a tent over their body. Homoptera. Ants, bees, and wasps. What order? Hymenoptera. Beetles? Coleoptera. Dragonflies? Odonata? Upside down termites? We didn't do termites the other day, but termites were back there, so that was new stuff for today. Termites are Isoptera. Other flies. And that's all I had time to find. Nope, nothing there. Just a fly, okay.